In this Loopin review, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about this software. If you have any questions, please be sure to comment them down below, and I'll also be sure to leave a discounted link down there so you can always get your money's worth for Loopin. Loopin is a software that makes meetings highly productive and manageable. So this is pretty much what you should see once you've signed in or just logged in again to this software. It pretty much overall just improves your management with your meetings and help you make the whole process a lot smoother and help you make tasks a lot more easy to go ahead and complete. So this is what you should see. There's a lot going on, but also not at the same time. It's a very nice layout and very minimalistic, but it's also good for professionals in case you want to go ahead and actually just get straight into the tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and go through each feature, and then throughout the review I'm going to dive deeper into each feature, showing what this software has to offer. So I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into it now. On the left hand side we have this navigation bar. Now we pretty much have four main areas. We have today, calendar, notes and tasks. The today is pretty much kind of like a dashboard where you can go ahead and see what things are actually happening, but what is happening today. So once you log onto it, you can go ahead and see exactly what's important and what you've set up. The calendar is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a calendar where you can go ahead and manage all of your tasks and meetings. Notes, self-explanatory. Go ahead and manage your notes, or pretty much put in notes for you to go ahead and come back to. And then tasks, same thing. You can go ahead and create some tasks for you to go ahead and complete. So overall, a very nice layout, very simplistic, minimalistic layout, which I personally truly love, and I think it's absolutely incredible for people to go ahead and just use a lot easier. So just jumping straight into it on the today section, which is pretty much the dashboard section like I said before, is pretty much where you can go ahead and see what happens on today. So the Loopin software has already given us an example, but obviously once you connect your Google Calendar, anything or any kind of meetings or any kind of dates that are actually set up on your Google Calendar or whatever you connected would then be connected to this software, which is again really great, so you don't have to be jumping from Google Calendar to this software and just making the whole process a lot more complicated. It's all right here and connected on the Loopin software. So because I don't actually have any meetings set up on my personal Google Calendar, I'm going to go ahead and just use this one that the software has provided as an example. So once you actually have your calendar or something set up for today, it would appear here in the today section with maybe the title you named it, with the date and time it's supposed to go ahead and take place, and then whether it's internal or external. So today is the 1st of March, and this is the one the software has provided because that's what we've came onto the software with. So once you click on that meeting, it should then give you kind of like notes, tasks and pre-meeting data on what that meeting is about, what it actually has, and other things like that. So on the pre-meeting section, we actually just have how the meeting would be set up. So you've got different links and other stuff like that you can go ahead and change and set what you want to go ahead and discuss in the meeting, which is a little feature that I didn't think was necessary, but it's really great that it's been added by the software, and I personally really like it. So you can go ahead and actually just view the meeting description. Just go ahead and click this edit button up here and start typing out your meeting description in case you want to go ahead and have one. Same with the talking points or even request agenda. You can go ahead and just add all of these right here where you have your talking points. So if I was to go ahead and put management and click enter, we now have our first talking point for this meeting. Then you can go ahead and select or tick it if you've gone ahead and actually gone over it, or untick it if you don't need to. So next, moving on to the notes section. Now this is pretty self-explanatory. You can go ahead and actually add notes to your meeting to make sure you actually go ahead and cover all topics throughout the meeting, and pretty much just make the whole process a lot easier and better well used, which I personally think is a really great feature, again, to make sure you actually go ahead and go over your topics so the meeting isn't really a waste of time for you and whoever you're meeting with. So you can go ahead and actually just edit all your meeting notes, different tasks, stuff like that. Go ahead and add links and just kind of look through and start editing it like a normal text document. If you want to go ahead and change headings or boldness down here, you can all do it down here. And then that's pretty much self-explanatory. So you can go ahead and just move or pretty much erase things about and then make it more customizable to you once your meeting is actually established. Next, onto the task section. Again, very self-explanatory. Very easy to go ahead and just navigate, which I personally again love about this whole software. The process is just really easy. We just have 3 steps to start our meeting. On the task section, it's easy to add a task. We've got the tasks that have already been added by the software here, but if we wanted to go ahead and add one ourselves, just click add task and then you'd name it, give it a description and the due date. So if I went ahead and put reviews and then record, and then you go ahead and select the due date, let's say it's for tomorrow, and add task, and there you go. As simple as that, we've now added our task to this meeting. Very simple and a very easy process way to go ahead and just add your tasks to meetings, which is a feature I personally really love. I think it's absolutely incredible how necessary this is to actually have in meetings to make sure you and whoever you're meeting with gets the idea of the meeting in general. So there you go, that's overall the today section on this software. Just very straightforward and very easy to use for beginners, but also really great for professionals as well to go ahead and make sure you're getting the most out of your meetings. So overall, I really and truly love the today section, and I think it's absolutely great. So next we're going to move on to the calendar. Now this is pretty self-explanatory, there's not too much to go into here, but we're going to go ahead and explain it anyway. The calendar section is just a calendar section. You have a nice little layout for your calendar here on the left hand side, which you can go ahead and filter out to different days of the weeks or different weeks of the month, or just different kind of time frames in general. If you have anything connected like we did on the today, you also have it connected here on your calendar. Pretty much kind of just linking it with your Google Calendar and transporting it over to this really great laid out software. As you can see, we had one on the 28th of February, but now we have also one on the 1st of March, right here on the Wednesday, which we already went ahead and set up in the today section. So you also have all your tasks on the right hand side like we had before, and now we've got the review tasks that we started in the today section as well. So they all appear here once you go ahead and actually add them, and you can also go ahead and add them up here as well, as easy as we did before, and you'd go ahead and follow the same process. So overall, that's pretty much it for the calendar section. Not too much to dive into with that. It's just a very nice and laid out area of the software to just go ahead and make the process a lot easier when you're creating your meetings. So next, moving on to the notes section. Now on this notes section is a very nice section. I think it's a really good section to go ahead and add to a software like this, because everyone needs to go ahead and have notes. Sometimes it's very hard to go ahead and remember everything you're actually planning about your meetings, and you want to go ahead and just make sure you have notes to definitely make sure you're covering all topics and all type of areas of your meeting and making sure you're getting the best out of your meeting. So again, I really love this section because of that. I think it's very well laid out as well, and we're going to go ahead and dive into it now. So right here we have two notes created by the software. We've got collaborate on meeting notes with your team and recap meeting discussions. So it just makes the whole process a lot easier. Maybe even if you're meeting with your team like it says here, you can go ahead and add notes to make sure you go ahead and tell your team exactly what they need to do. So to create a note, all we have to go ahead and do is go up to the top right hand corner here and click create note. It then takes us to this little section, kind of like a typing document, where you can actually just type out your notes straight off the top of your head and just make sure you remember everything successfully. So if we want to go ahead and remind ourselves to record a review, we just go ahead and type it out like that, and there we go, we've got our note. And you can just add as much as you want here and kind of make it your note play area, just to get your ideas on paper or on screen to pretty much brainstorm it overall and make sure you don't forget it in the long run. So again, just like a normal typing document, we can just highlight this like that, go ahead and make it bold, go ahead and highlight this, make it italic, bold, heading, etc. Just play about with it and just make sure your notes are very customizable to you, which is again a feature I personally really love. Just make it very customizable to you and how you want to go ahead and remember your ideas. So there you go. Obviously you'd go ahead and put loads of notes down. I'm not going to go ahead and put too much down because I don't need to. But once you're actually happy with your notes, all you have to go ahead and do is then attach it to a meeting, and then you'd obviously attach your note to a meeting and click attach, just like I did there. And there you go, you've got your notes now attached to a certain meeting, so you make sure you remember everything in that meeting. Next, and finally, moving on to the task section, another very great section where you can go ahead and make sure tasks are managed. Again, just making the whole process of this software easy and manageable for meetings, which is what it does in the first place. Overall, it just creates and establishes productive meetings and makes sure you're productive with the tasks you're supposed to go ahead and complete, which is a feature I personally really love. I love it when people are productive and manageable and just make sure everything is completed on time. So here we just have all the tasks and different days the tasks are supposed to be completed. So we've got two here, again provided by the software, or ones that we actually went ahead and created for this review, and then they're pretty much all here. Then to the right of that you have the days that they are due, like the Thursday one, which we went ahead and put in for the 2nd of March, is due right here as a task. So you just go ahead and go all the way back to the today section, add your tasks and notes the same way, and they would just all appear here where you can go ahead and see which ones are due for different days. Not too complicated, manageable and easy for everyone to go ahead and use, and overall that is exactly what this software is. Very easy, very manageable and very straightforward. And there you go, that is it for the Loopin software review. Overall I think this is an insanely great software for going ahead and making sure meetings are manageable, making sure you can manage your tasks, notes, calendar, etc. It's a very powerful software and there's a lot of features that I personally really love. A couple of those features is how straightforward this is. I think it's really great for beginners and professionals and just very minimalistic and easy to use overall, which is features that I personally really love. Would I recommend this to anyone? Yes, I absolutely would. Like I just said, it's good for beginners, professionals, everyone in between. This is an insanely great software for going ahead and just managing meetings. I would definitely recommend this software. And finally, would I use it myself? As you can tell, I would definitely use this software myself if I ever needed to go ahead and manage meetings very easily for myself. Overall, 10 out of 10 software and I would use it again. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.